I think we can start. Dear Honorary President, dear Honorary First Vice President, dear Honorary Secretary General, dear Presidents of our member associations, dear Secretary Generals, dear delegates, dear colleagues and friends, on behalf of World Archery, I would like to welcome all of you. I'm very happy that we are here together in this beautiful city for the World Archery Congress now, and I believe that we will have a very productive Congress for 2 days for our great sport, of course. I wish you all the best during all your activities here and in your federations. And thank you very much for your coming here. Now, I would like to invite our Honorary President for saying some few words to us. Thank you, Mr. President.
Relax, don't be afraid. I'm not going to make a long speech. I just want to say a few words of very sincere thanks to you, Mr. President, and to you all for allowing me once more to be one of you. And I say my thanks with sincere gratitude, because being one of you makes me feel again the pleasure and the pride of being one of you. And I insist on pride, because in the general world of international sport and of Olympic sport, archery shines of a very positive light. Our archers and judges are an example of good, clean sportsmanship. Our administrators are an example of good, clean management and organization. And besides, there is solidarity. We have been pioneers with para-archery, and that has become one of our main activities. We have been pioneers with technical assistance to new developing member associations, and the record number of entries in these championships is the fruit of that. Many years ago, when I stepped down from FITA president, I closed my farewell speech with the words, "Carry on, FITA." I will now say, "Carry on, World Archery." Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. President. Meanwhile, we all together we send our best wishes to our other Honorary President, Jim Easton, and we wish him a good health. Thank you very much. Now I give the floor to our Secretary General for report of registration.
Sorry, Mr. President, I know you want to go very quick, but we first will give the award to Rolf Lind, the chairman of the organizing committee, for some welcome words.
Mr. President, Executive Committee, delegates, dear archery friends, I'm very proud to welcome you to this World Archery Congress here in Copenhagen, Denmark. I sincerely hope you will enjoy your stay in our beautiful city, whether you're going to stay just for some days or you're going to stay throughout the competition. We have done our utmost to make your stay as smooth and nice as possible. At your hotel, you will find our volunteers who will be ready to help you with any problems that may occur and answer any question you may have. Also, the hotel staff will be at your disposal. After the Congress, we will start the World Archery Championship. As you perhaps already know, it will be the largest championship ever in World Archery history. 627 athletes, 349 officials, totally 976 persons from 98 countries. The shooting line at the venue will consist of 130 targets. One of the reasons for this success is, in my opinion, the good work of the Congress, the Executive Board, the staff in World Archery Office, and all the member associations with the work about the World Archery Plan, which have resulted in a constantly increasing interest for archery. My hope and my belief for this Congress is that we can have a good debate and make decisions that will continue the good development we have seen over the last years. I wish you all a good Congress and a good stay in Copenhagen. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. We wish you all the best. Good luck, good success from now. Thank you. My friends, now we have a video message from IOC President Dr. Thomas Bach.
Dear President and friend Ugo Erdőna, dear friends of archery, the 2015 World Archery Congress comes at an important time. This is a year of change for the Olympic movement. Archery is one of the most ancient sports, but your federation has often been at the forefront of change. Like the Olympic movement itself, Olympic archery has evolved over time to adapt to new realities within the world of sport and society at large. Just 4 years after its Olympic debut at the 1900 Paris Olympic Games, archery became one of the first Olympic sports to welcome women competitors. In 1961, your international federation became the first to elect a woman president. This history of innovation continues today under the able leadership of Ugo Erdőna, a friend and a valued member of the IOC Executive Board. Earlier this year, I had the pleasure of helping to lay the foundation stone for the World Archery Excellence Center here in Lausanne. This will be a truly remarkable new facility, a great tool for research and for communicating Olympic values. It is very much in keeping with the spirit of Olympic Agenda 2020, with its focus on credibility, sustainability, and youth. For the Olympic movement, many of the reforms that were approved with Olympic Agenda 2020 just late last year have already been implemented. But there is always much more to do. I'm sure World Archery will be part of this journey and will stand at the side of the IOC. We can already see the many positive impacts of Olympic Agenda 2020. The more collaborative approach to selecting host cities and the stronger focus on sustainability and legacy has resulted in savings of more than $1.7 billion for the organizers of the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020. The emphasis on protecting clean athletes has led to the creation of a dedicated $20 million fund. $10 million is being spent in the fight against match fixing, manipulation and related corruption. Another 10 million in research for new methods in anti-doping. In this respect, your president is playing a key role in his capacity of chair of the IOC Medical and Scientific Commission, and I would like to thank him very much for this great work he is doing also in this respect. All of the measures concerning good governance, compliance and transparency have been fully implemented by the IOC. The role of international federations for the delivery of Olympic competitions has been enhanced, starting with the Olympic Games Rio 2016. Using experience within federations like yours will bring you closer to Olympic Games planning and delivery. Thanks to your close collaboration with the organizing committee Rio 2016, archers will compete in the best conditions, and we can expect once more excellent Olympic Games in August next year, with a typical Brazilian mix of passion and efficiency. We are also moving ahead rapidly with another important initiative for the international federations, the Olympic Channel. The Channel offers a fantastic new opportunity to showcase archery and other Olympic sports year-round, as well as to promote the values we both share with a global audience. It is our secret weapon in our goal to increase engagement with youth. World Archery and other international federations played an essential role in the open and candid discussions that led to the development of Olympic Agenda 2020. Now, we need your continued support as we complete the task of turning those recommendations into action for the benefit of your sport, the Olympic movement, and society at large. I would like to express my thanks and congratulations to your president and our friend Ugo Erdner for his great contribution for the development of your sport and the entire Olympic movement. As I know him, he will continue with the same vision and determination to lead world archery and the Olympic movement into an even brighter future. All of you, I wish now a stimulating and productive Congress, and never forget in all your discussions, sport is always also about the joy in life. So enjoy your Congress.
We thank our President, Dr. Bach, for his continuous support us. Thank you. Now I give the floor to our Secretary General for roll call. Thank you.
Thank you, President. Albania, Algeria, yes. Argentina, yes. Armenia, no. Australia, yes. Austria, yes. Azerbaijan, yes. Bahamas, yes. Bangladesh, in the back, yes. Barbados, no. Belgium, Benin, Bermuda, Bhutan, yes. Bosnia and Herzegovina, Belarus, yeah, okay. Bolivia, I think is okay. No, Brazil, yes. Bulgaria, Central African Republic, Cambodia, Canada, Chad, Chile, China, yes. Ivory Coast, Cameroon, Congo, Colombia, yes. Comoros, Costa Rica, yes. Croatia, yes. Cuba is a proxy to Canada, yes. Cyprus, yes. Czech Republic, yes. Denmark. Dominicana. Ecuador, no, yes. Proxy, yes. Egypt, yes. El Salvador, proxy, yes. Spain, yes. Estonia, Fiji, Finland, Falkland Islands, Tahiti, yes. France, yes. Faroe Islands, yes. Gabon, Great Britain, Georgia, Germany, Ghana, Greece, Guatemala, Guinea, Guyana, yes, Haiti, Hong Kong, Honduras, yes, Hungary, Indonesia, India, Iran, Ireland, Iraq, Iceland, Israel, yes. Virgin Islands, Italy, Japan, Kazakhstan, Kenya, Roxy, Kyrgyzstan, Kiribati, Korea, Kosovo, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Laos, Latvia, Libya, Liberia, Lebanon, Liechtenstein, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Macau, Morocco, Malaysia, yes, Malawi, Moldova, Mexico, Mongolia, former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia, Mali, Malta, Montenegro, Monaco, Mauritius, Myanmar, Namibia, Nicaragua, Netherlands, Nepal, Norfolk Islands, Nigeria, Niger, Norway, New Zealand, Pakistan, Panama, Paraguay, Peru, Philippines, Palau, Papua New Guinea, Poland, Portugal. Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Yes. Puerto Rico. Qatar. No. Romania. South Africa. Russian Federation. Rwanda. Samoa. Senegal. Singapore. Singapore, yes, is here. Yeah, okay, there. Sierra Leone. Slovenia. San Marino. No. Somalia. No. Serbia. Yes. Sri Lanka. Sudan. Yes. Switzerland, proxy to Germany. Suriname. Slovakia. Yes. Sweden. Tonga. Yes. Thailand. Tajikistan. Togo. Chinese Taipei, Trinidad and Tobago, proxy, Tunisia, Turkey, United Arab Emirates, Uganda, Ukraine, Uruguay, proxy, USA, yes, Uzbekistan, Vanuatu, Venezuela, Vietnam, and Zimbabwe. Okay, we count quickly how many we have. I have 89. I know there have been how many tablets distributed? Thomas? 91, so it seems I can't count anymore. Okay, that's one. And I'm sure I missed one somewhere. Kuwait. Okay, sorry. So it's 91 as indicated. Thank you very much. So, Congress has its quorum. Surprise, surprise. And we can go on. We have to nominate 2 scrutineers. If you agree, we will nominate as scrutineer Evelyn Papadopoulou from Greece and Jim Laven from Australia. Jim, however, will of course not participate when there is 2 Australians up for election. Is that okay for Congress? Voting will be by electronic tablets, as has been the case in the last Congresses. Is that okay for everyone? Thank you. Then we will go on with the apologies for absence. We have received some apologies. Our president already mentioned our honorary president, Mr. Jim Easton. We also have an apologies from Bob Smith, who is our chairman of our Finance and Audit Committee, who unfortunately for health reasons had to cancel last week. We send, of course, from all of us best wishes for a great recovery, and he's doing already better. He's out of hospital, but he could not travel. We also have apologies of absence from Dion Bouhagiar, member of the Judge Committee, and who was supposed to be the delegate, and he's the president from Malta. And okay, I don't think that's the noise we're hearing. There is some noise on the background, but it's
Closer to the mic.
okay. So there's still an echo in the background. We're hearing an echo in the background. Sorry. Okay, we'll get it fixed. So we have Dion Bouhagiar, who sent also his apologies for personal reasons. Then we come to a presentation that I don't have a lot of pleasure to do, but we have to remember the people that passed away. And so I can have the presentation and the so we remember at the start of this Congress the following people that contributed to our sport, the sport of archery, and that have passed away since Belek. Mr. Laxman Kumar Shrestha from Nepal, President of the Nepal Archery Association in September 2013. Coach Shin Yong from Korea, Korean compound coach, who was compound coach in Belek, Antalya, and was taken to hospital and passed away some weeks later. Could never go back home in October 2013. Mr. Henry Johnson, a former international judge from Sweden, who passed away in December 2013. Mrs. Vigdis Landskau from Norway, international judge and former president of World Archery Norway in March 2014. Mr. Louis Cohn, national team coach and originator of the Swiss Youth Cup in April 2014. Mr. Alan Wyers, coach from the Republic of South Africa in April 2014. Mr. Werner Beiter, recipient of the Golden Arrow Award in November 2014. Mrs. Nancy Myrick from the United States of America, coach and the first athlete in the United States to shoot 1200 in November 2014. Mrs. Tanya Foni, medalist at World Championships and the TV commentator for Swiss Television and London Olympic Games in January 2015. Ms. Rosario Garito Trujillo, she competed at several games in the Americas, and she was also the daughter of another Trujillo, which we know very well. Mr. Bandam Kantam Sok from Mongolia, the head coach, who passed away in December 2014. As well as we remember all other officials and athletes of member associations and the archery family that have passed away since the Congress in Belek, Antalya.
Thank you, my friends.
Okay, we now go to the new members. Before we do that, we have to test the voting system, make sure that we know how to use the tablets. I know many of you have used them before. Has everybody that is a voting delegate got a tablet? Seems to be the case. Did you all get your password? Thailand doesn't have it? Thomas, Thailand doesn't seem to have it. Thailand, yes. And you don't have one in which country? Sorry, I can't see it. Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico doesn't seem to have a tablet either. And Australia, the password was on the back of your accreditation. There is a small paper. So the ones that haven't found the password is on your accreditation. When you got the accreditation, you received it. Now, if you have it, have you found the way to switch it on? Okay? There is a button, a black button on the top. You click it for a moment and it will switch on. Has everybody found the possibility to switch it on? And it's working. Okay? I will switch this one off and will return it because I should not have a machine to vote. But if you all have it and you have it switched it on, you put in your... When you go on it, you will find voting. That's the application to click on. And I will give mine back now. Korea has an issue. Can someone help Korea? We seem to have an issue with Korea. Yes. Korea, here. Okay, we're taking care of the ones where there is an issue. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some test vote. If Evelyn and Jim can go to the technical area, just to, you can see if it works. Sorry. There seems to be an issue with Australia as well. Can we have someone coming to see Australia? Juan Carlos is checking that one. Can I have Chris? Can you come and see Australia? Oh, Pascal is coming, okay. Okay, what's the status? Australia, if you can have someone here. Austria, it seems that everyone starts having a problem, so probably there was something changed. I have the feeling that everyone is having the same problem. And that's confirmed. Okay, what I suggest is we'll look at the problem. We'll go for the membership applications with manual, with some physical activity, and we see how we get it fixed. And as soon as we have it fixed, we will go with a test on the electronic voting. It has worked in the past, so there should be no reason why it's not working. But let's get for manual voting for the membership, and then afterwards we will do the test vote later before we go into the motions. Okay. We have several new members, and we have to vote for them one by one, so it's time to wake up. I hope everyone had a good sleep. So the first member which we propose you to accept is Albania. Albania is not present. They could not attend. All those in favor raise their hand to accept Albania as member. Only the voting delegates. Proxies have to raise 2 hands. Okay. Thank you. Any abstentions? Anyone against? Okay, that seems to be all okay. So Albania is a new member. We will inform them. The second one is Bolivia. All those in favor who want to accept Bolivia as permanent member of World Archery, please raise your hand or hands. Okay, thank you. Anyone against? Abstentions? Unanimous. Thank you. The next one is Guyana. Guyana, all those in favor to accept Guyana as member of World Archery? Okay. Anyone against? Paul, are you against? No? Okay. Abstention? Okay, unanimous. The next one, congratulations. The next one is Liberia. All those in favor? Anyone against? Abstention? Unanimous. Thank you. The next one is Mali. All those in favor to accept Mali as member? Okay. Abstentions? Against? No. Okay, accepted. Congratulations. I now ask the delegation of United Arab Emirates to leave the hall. United Arab Emirates, is there still in the hall? If not, can you please go outside for a few seconds? Yeah, but I asked them to leave the hall for a few seconds while the vote is taking place, sorry. You'll get back in the room as soon as we have voted, which, as you've seen, is very quick. So if you just can quickly leave the room, thank you. Can someone make sure to bring them back in around 30 seconds? Okay, so anyone who wants to take the word on United Arab Emirates? I don't think so. So all those in favor of accepting United Arab Emirates as member? Okay, anyone against? Abstention? No? Okay, so we can get them back in the room, and we ask them to come to the podium, and the President will hand them a small diploma as member of World Archery. Congratulations. And now we can also give a voting machine to United Arab Emirates. Thank you. Okay, then we go. We also have a re-affiliation, Zimbabwe, who was member many years ago, but has now rejoined us. So all those in favor to re-accept Zimbabwe? Okay. Anyone against? No. Abstentions? No. Okay, so Zimbabwe is back in the family. Congratulations. Now we come to a more delicate matter. We have 3 federations which we want to give a warning. A warning has no consequence as such immediately, but if there is a future problem, then they might be up for expulsion. This is to the federations of Cuba, Nicaragua, and Somalia. Cuba is related to a visa issue that occurred, and Nicaragua and Somalia is for a non-payment of this year. They have been informed already about this. Is there any question on it? No? So I accept this as a token that you allow us to confirm that warning to them. Then we go to expulsion, and I would like to know if in the meantime we can do an electronic vote or still not. You don't know? Okay, so we'll continue with the manual voting for those. These are federations that have not paid for the last 2 years. We have given them the opportunity to pay. We have contacted them, we have warned them, we have informed the NOC, and we have had or no reply or a reply from the NOC that there is no activity. So these votes we have to take one by one. We hope that in the future they can rejoin us, but at the moment we propose that we exclude them. The first one is Cambodia. Does anybody want to take the floor on that? Doesn't seem to be the case. So do you accept to exclude Cambodia? All those in favor? Okay. Anyone against? 1. Abstention? Okay. So they are excluded. The second one is Democratic Republic of Congo. This was a more complicated story. We had, as you might remember, a management seminar in Switzerland. The Congo Federation sent 2 delegates to that, one of which happened to be the president of the son of the president, and they never went back home, or at least they haven't shown up in Congo at the embassy to prove that they went back home, which was a condition for their visa. We take this matter very seriously because if we have occurrences like that, that can have an impact on other countries that do their job correctly to get visas to go to our events. So we've informed them. They had chance for 1 year to appear at the embassy. We've had confirmation from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs that they did not show up. We've informed them that if this would happen, we would exclude them, and therefore this is the question put to the floor. Do you agree that Democratic Peoples of Congo Federation is excluded? All those in favor? Thank you. Anyone against? Abstention? Thank you very much, and I think this gives a strong signal as well that we are serious about these things, and we should make sure that federations only go and get visas for sport matters, and this will help us to prevent further issues with visas as sometimes occur. Gabon is the next one, non-payment. All those in favor? Okay, anyone against? Abstentions? Okay, we also excluded Gabon. The next one is Sierra Leone. All those in favor? Anyone against? Abstentions? Okay. Then the next one is Togo. All those in favor? Against? Abstentions? Thank you. Tunisia, Pascal, can you give me an update if it's still valid, Tunisia, or what is the status on Tunisia? Because I know there has been some changes.
We have the count is ready, so after we can test.
microphone over there.
So fortunately, Tunisia now paid their membership,
Okay,
so
so
it's fine.
so there is no reason to exclude them. Okay, thank you. So Tunisia will remain as member. So if my counting is correct, we had 158 before, we will have 153 at the end of this Congress, which shows that we are growing, and at the same time we show also a clear message that you have to be active to remain as member of World Archery. Thank you very much. So that concludes this matter. Mr. President, if you allow me, I go on with the next one, which is confirmation of the minutes.
Yes, please.
Okay, confirmation of the minutes of our 50th Congress in Belek, Antalya. Does anybody have any remarks or questions? Doesn't seem to be the case. It seems that we could go ahead with the voting. So if you agree, we will try the electronic voting. We'll do a test. Has everybody been able to log in? Yes? So can we have the test vote on the screen? Well, we didn't know what the weather was going to be today, so do you agree that the weather is nice today? If you agree, you can put yes. If you don't agree, you can put no. And you can abstain. You still have an issue? It still seems to be an issue, so is the vote open? See, yes, our president is telling me that the weather is not very good on some tablets, so. Okay. I think we will have some further physical exercise to keep you awake. So all the ones that agree with the minutes of the last Congress, please raise your hand. Okay. It's not on the weather, eh? It's on the minutes. Anyone against? Abstention? Thank you very much. There are no particular matters arising from the minutes as such. So we can go to the reports, and then we will, after the coffee break, do the test vote as such and make sure that it is working. So we will now go to the reports. Mr. President, the floor is yours.
Thank you, our Secretary General, Mr. Dillon. Can we move to the agenda item 9, or we have to wait?
No, we can move, yes.
Okay. Now we move agenda item 9. 9.1 is my report. Dear friends, we are together again in Copenhagen for the 51st World Archery Congress. As you know very well, we had a very successful Archery World Cup final in the heart of this beautiful city in 2009. And I believe that we will have another unforgettable event, Outdoor World Archery Championships, immediately after our Congress. Unfortunately, I will not be able to be here together with you and our athletes during our important event due to the IOC Executive Board meeting and the IOC session which will be held in Kuala Lumpur exactly on the same dates. As we all know, World Archery Congresses are very good opportunities for all of us for sharing some ideas and informing our friends about main activities. I am happy that we gather here one more time for our great sport. I would like to inform you about some of our activities and related matters very briefly. As you know, there was a management change in the IOC in 2013, and Dr. Thomas Bach was elected as the president of IOC in Buenos Aires on 10th of September, just before our last Congress, which was held in Belek, Antalya on 27th and 28th of September. Dr. Bach had attended our previous World Championships with many other IOC members. This was the new president's first participation in a major sports event, and it was a great honor for us, for our great sport. Dear friends, as President Bach mentioned on his video message, he declared two important projects immediately after his participation in our World Championships. First one was related to clean clean athletes, especially regarding fight against doping. And second project was very vital for the Olympic movement. It was Olympic Agenda 2020. After having 1 year process time, IOC session unanimously approved all 40 recommendations in Monaco last December as a new roadmap of the Olympic movement. During the 1 year process time period, IOC received more than 40,000 interventions and comments from all, and nearly 220 observations from the IOC members in the IOC session, which was held in Sochi during the Winter Olympic Games. And then all the comments and ideas were discussed in 14 different groups with the participation of IOC members and experts. I was also a member of Protecting Clean Athletes Working Group. Now we are in the implementation phase of all 40 decisions, as President mentioned. I do not want to take too much of your time, but I can inform you about some headlines of the main decisions concerning Olympic Agenda 2020 project. Some of them evaluate bid cities, key opportunities and risks, sustainability of the Olympic Games and Olympic movement, move from a sports-based to an event-based program, this is important, foster gender equality, this is another important matter, protecting clean athletes, it is also, launch an Olympic channel, this is also very important, like that. Another important approach from the IOC president was related to protecting clean athletes, and Dr. Bach reserved $10 million for supporting anti-doping projects and another $10 million for preventing illegal betting and match fixing, as he mentioned. We are very happy and very proud that our sport, great sport, archery, has a very strong position in the Olympic movement. And our relations with all our stakeholders are very efficient. In this point, I want to inform you about a chaotic problem which we live with together with almost all Olympic sports. As you know, there is an umbrella organization for all sports organizations, Olympic, non-Olympic, recognized by IOC, non-recognized sports. And this is Sport Accord. World Archery is also a member of this organization. There was a Sport Accord General Assembly in Sochi last April, And in the opening part of the General Assembly, its president, he is also a president of an Olympic sport, made an unfortunate speech and he insulted the IOC president. Of course, it was a big shock for everyone in the hall, including Russian President Mr. Vladimir Putin. Almost all Summer Olympic federations and AZOIF, our organization, displayed immediate reactions after this problem, and they left this organization. As the World Archery, we showed the first reaction toward this unacceptable and impolite situation, and almost all other federations follow us. Finally, Sporakort president resigned from his position, and there will be an extraordinary General Assembly in the upcoming months. And most probably, this mission will finish. I am personally very happy and proud that as the representative of this great family, that is you, I was elected the executive board member of the IOC in 2014 during the Sochi Winter Games, and as the council member of AZOIF last year again. Of course, my main goal is to contribute some ideas to the Olympic movement. In addition, I was appointed by the IOC president as the chair of the IOC Medical and Scientific Commission in the last year. I am also a member of Olympic Foundation Board in Lausanne. Meanwhile, I carry on my jobs in WADA. My dear friends, together with our Secretary General, we will inform you about the details of our important project during this Congress. But I would like to say some few words about it now. As you know, World Archery Excellence Center is under construction, and this project was one of our dreams, especially in the last 4 or 5 years. We organized its first stone ceremony with the participation of the IOC president, IOC directors, and all important cantonal and city authorities in Lausanne on 9th of April. We believe that this is a very prestigious project, not only for World Archery, but also City of Lausanne and the IOC president and all authorities in Lausanne express us their appreciations several times regarding the World Archery Excellence Center. Of course, we are building this center with some important support, and at this point, I would like to thank our honorary president, Jim Easton, and our friend, Greg Easton, very much for their great contribution through Easton Sports Foundation. Again, I thank the IOC president and cantonal and city authorities for their great support. My friends, our World Cup series continues very successfully, and as you know, this is a very favorable competition system, not only for our archers, but also for TV. Especially in the last 2 years, we regularly had good coverage on Eurosport, and it will be the same this year as well. I would like to thank our prestigious sponsor, Longines, for their support for broadcasting of our events. And also, I thank World Archery TV team, Cedric Roger and his team members. Another important opportunity for our great sport will be the Olympic Channel, as President mentioned. It was decided by the IOC in the Olympic Agenda 2020 project, and its budget also reserved. This channel will start towards the end of this year on digital platform, and it will cover all sports. Dear delegates, once more, I have to mention that World Archery sponsorship program is very important and very vital for sustainability of our activities. Without enough sponsor income, we cannot have a successful operation in different areas, and I would like to thank all our sponsors for their great contribution to World Archery. As you know, this is a win-win situation, and we also have to support them in different areas. This year we have a new arrangement concerning our sponsorship process, and our Secretary General will inform you about the details. I'm very happy to inform you that World Archery has a very good harmony in the office operations, and all of our staff, under the leadership of our Secretary General Tom Dillon, always do their best in accordance with our mission, which was set many years ago. As the World Archery President, I thank our Secretary General Tom Dillon very much for his great contribution to our organization. And also, I thank our staff, Pascal Colmer, Juan Carlos Solgado, Caroline Murat, Chris March, Chris Wells, Thomas Obert, Ludwig Wicki, Deka Naimki, Severin Darius, Jenny Brugger, Ja Young Lee, and Lauren Hadorn for their great efforts. My special thanks go to Juan Carlos Solgado, who was the leader of our great event team, and now he has to reserve most of his time for the World Archery Excellence Center. I believe that he will do his best for our center. Chris March took over his job, and I believe he will also have a successful event operations all over the world. I happily point out that World Archery event standards are continuously improving, and now our organizers manual is available for all our event organizers for observance of our good standards. In this part, I would like to thank Matteo Pisani, George Tekmiko, Andreas Lorenz, and our official photographer, Dean Alberga, for their great contributions to our successful event team. As I always mention, World Archery has many very well prepared and printed publications for sharing our activities with all our stakeholders. And we use all social media platforms efficiently. Our team works very well for this important activity, and I would like to thank Chris Wells as the communication manager of our organization, and our friend Bob Smith as well. I thank Uğur Korkmaz and Hakan Balcı from Ankara office too. As the president of World Archery, I would like to thank all my friends in our executive board for their great contributions to our activities and ensuring a very good harmony in our great family. Of course, I thank all our committee members very much for their great activities for our great sport. My dear friends, all together, we have an incredible improvement in our great sport. This success belongs mainly to you, because we have prepared our very dynamic archery world plan together. Your contributions have always been very important and very valuable for us. We are very proud that we have reached all our goals during the first stage of our plan, and now we are ready for a new breakthrough in the coming years. I strongly believe that we will do everything together again, and I thank you very much. Now I give the floor to our Secretary General for his report.
Thank you. Thank you, President. Dear delegates, Mr. President, the Honorary President, I'll give you an update on my written report that was sent to you as part of the Congress documents, and it's not my intention to repeat everything that is in there, because I know that you don't want to listen to me all day. First of all, we can be proud of our growth of membership, of member associations. Even if this morning we excluded some countries, we know that we have now over 150 active member associations, and we continue to make sure that they remain active. We don't only see a growth of membership as countries, we also see a serious growth of members in our members. And these are numbers that I found that were given to me by some of you, and please inform us when you have increases of membership, because it's important for us, it's important to know for our sponsors and also for our information to the International Olympic Committee. These are numbers that are impressive, these are our big members, but also when you go from 50 to 100 or from 100 to 250, this is important information, and it's also that valuable as going from 58,000 to 72,500. And I think it's even more now for France. We also work more and more with the Archery Trade Association, and we will get a presentation from them. We'll have also a workshop with them. And they're also doing studies in terms of how many archers are there around the world as such. And these numbers are impressive. We are also, like I said, we have active members, and we see a substantial growth of countries in the World Archery Championships. We don't know the final number yet, and it might be a little bit lower than 97. We were at a certain moment above 100 countries registered, but we will be definitely above 90 countries. Rolf, you're confirming? Yes, thank you. So we will definitely break a new record in terms of number of countries. It is clear, in blue you see the ones that are Olympic qualifications, in red the ones that are not Olympic qualifications. But all the time we're increasing every 4 years on the Olympic qualification, but also when it's not an Olympic qualification. This will be the first World Championship where we will break 200 recurve men, and will be break 160 recurve women. That means that on Monday, in the recurve men, more athletes have finished their competition than will continue their competition. This is something we need to think of if we need to make changes. In teams, we have more than 60 teams, and there is 16 going to the elimination round. This is another thing we need to think of for the future. Compound, we also see an evolution. It's not as strong, but what we are very happy to see, and was very good information when I did this preparation, is that the number of compound women is increasing. And this is something that is absolutely essential, that the compound women participation and the quality of the compound women performance increases if we want to go one day to the International Olympic Committee and ask for Olympic inclusion. This is something that I also discussed with all the manufacturers earlier this year, and made a clear message that they need to support especially the women compound archers, both in equipment and also in terms of contingency. Office structure, our president already mentioned some changes there. The event department now headed by Chris March. Juan Carlos, who is really dedicating more and more time on the World Archery Excellence Center, and he will give a presentation in a few minutes, but continue also working on the Olympic Games in Rio. In the marketing department, there has been a substantial change. We have outsourced our marketing operations in terms of sponsor research and the contract negotiation to GPS Performance, which is a Swiss-based marketing company. They have a lot of experience, and Karim Sidawi, who is on the screen, is our contact person. Thomas Aubert helps in the implementation of the sponsor operations during the events. We are working well with them. We are also working well with our sponsors. Our sponsors are quite happy. We had hoped to announce a big change already today, but it will be in the coming months, and you will be informed as soon as possible, but there will be an important change in one of our sponsorship agreements. Archery TV, we are still one of the leading federations in the YouTube channel. We are actually, this is the problem with these channels, the numbers constantly change. We are 59,000 subscribers now, we'll break 60,000 I'm sure in the coming weeks. And we have more than 26 million views. So 26 million videos were seen by people since the launch of the channel. Social media, Twitter, we have broken the 20,000 barrier some weeks ago. In Facebook, we are above 115,000. Facebook and Twitter are important tools of communication, and we also see a big progress in you having Twitter and Facebook accounts, which we are very happy to see, because the more information is around, the more people talk about archery. I want to give you some slides on our way of communicating what we are about, our vision. The vision of World Archery is a world where everyone has the opportunity to make the important Olympic sport of archery their elite or recreational activity of choice. Our mission is to empower you, the member associations, to make archery a leading sport in nations around the world. And we'll talk later about the world plan as such. What do we propose to the world? We are the international governing body for archery, promoting the sport in iconic destinations worldwide through our active member associations, our innovative international competitions, and our attractive development programs. And I think we can say that without blushing if we see the number of people participating in our events. How do we position ourselves? We are a sport connecting the past and the future through elegance, precision, and innovative technology, with the versatility to be staged in iconic and surprising locations. We deliver a consistent, outstanding sport presentation while minimizing the footprint and maximizing the reach of elite competitions. The values of World Archery, of course, precision, intensity, innovation, heritage, we have it, we should protect it. Fair play, it's essential. It was said by our honorary president before. And we are also a sport for all ages, people with disabilities, and any type of archer, recreational or elite. What is our personality? We are elegant, intuitive, attractive, iconic, surprising, and cool. And we thought we need to come up with a slogan. So give us some feedback on 3 proposals we have, because we feel we need a slogan for archery. Love precision, live innovation, innovating our heritage, and the one, I have a personal preference, sorry, the power of precision. I think this is what we are about. Archery is about the power of precision. Some new projects that I want to give you quickly some information on. We have, I hope you have seen it, a new internet website since Monday. How many have seen it? Chris, you still have a job. Good. First of all, we made it compatible with all platforms and devices, because the world of internet browsing has changed. 60 or 70% of people are now looking on the internet on their phone. They're no longer looking at the computer. We have one statistic that I would say has shown that we're on the right track. Before last week, we were around 80% on desktop computers using our internet website, 20% on tablets or phone. This week, 2 days ago, we were 50-50. This is shown that people have changed habits, and this is important that we are changing as well, and that we're ahead of this change. The internet, I'm sure some people will say, I can't find this or I can't find that anymore. We will have a full workshop by Chris to explain you where you can find certain things, and you can also use that to give feedback to him on what you want to be changed. However, the feedback we have had so far is quite positive, and it's definitely fan-focused. It's a website that is there for the fans of archery. Official information will be on the extranet, and Chris will explain that in detail in the workshop. The other thing we have, and we will also show something to you in our workshop, is we have new applications for mobile, for tablets and for phone. We have World Archery Live version 2.0, which is an upgrade of the application we already had on Android and iPhone. It has new functionality, records, calendar, and live, and we'll be able to show you as well in the workshop how it's working. The other application that is ready, and that we can also show you there, is what we call World Archery Head-to-Head, which is a tool that can be used for training or for fun, where you can basically shoot against anyone that is in our database. So if you want to try to beat Oginiek in the London Olympic Games, you can actually shoot a theoretical match against him from the 132nd, and if you keep on winning, till the gold medal match. You can also, we will see in a future attempt to see if we can have it with a possibility that you can shoot against people across the world. So this is something we will develop more and more, but again, it's something to get people entertained, and also it can be a good training tool for people to get ready for a next competition. So more information will be given to you later on this week as well. Another project we are working on, and our executive board has given an okay on that in December last year, is an international athlete and official license. We feel this is necessary, also based on some experience, that we want to guarantee medical and accident coverage for accredited people during events. We had some bad experience there, some of our organizers had bad experience, and we want to solve this for the future. It also helps to improve the visibility of our sport and also give recognition to the best athletes of each country. If you have an international license, you're a good athlete. So it gives more recognition. And it's also something that is definitely necessary to integrate with the new anti-doping code. We plan to have this effective in 2017. We want to make sure that this system is not a big administrative burden to you. And this is why we are not ready yet. We need to make sure it has no major impact on your operations as such. But it will be something that will be necessary for the future. Now, I'm sure that you have heard for the moment already more than enough of me. So we're going to see a short video on what happened since Belek. Video, please. Thank you very much. I don't know if there is any questions on my report. If not, I'll continue with the next report, if it's okay for you, Mr. President.
One moment, Tom. As I mentioned during my short report, my friends, again, I want to thank our Secretary General for his very successful job, and please, one more time, applause for him.
Thank you very much. We now go to the next report, which is on the International Foundation. Now, the International Foundation was created as part of the plan our President presented in 2005, and which was also supported a lot by the Easton Foundation and our Honorary President, Mr. Easton. The Foundation has had mainly one activity since the last 3 years, which is building the World Archery Excellence Center. Although we also had last year a management seminar in Switzerland, which was well attended by 30 countries, and I think which was a very positive experience. We hope that the next management seminar will be held in our World Archery Excellence Center, and I give now the floor to the person that has the very difficult task to run that center when it will be finished, and now building it. So, Juan Carlos, you have the floor.
Thank you, Tom. I would like to one day get a mission that is easy in World Archery. Thank you very much. Dear World Archery family, dear friends, dear delegate, it's for me a pleasure to be here again after our last Congress to report, not this time about events. It was only 11 years in events, so I think I have enough. But about the World Archery Excellence Center. I would like to give you a brief introduction, what it's going to be, what is the vision, and to give you a better idea what it is. And hopefully we'll have it soon to empower our mission. Let's see. Yep. Good. Why we started, how we start all of this. And this is the most common question I receive. Everything starts with our World Archery Plan, which we have a vision, which is archery will be recognized as on a worldwide level as one of the important Olympic sports. And in this vision, we have different areas, as you have seen, and we have learned from the last Congress, and we will work here again. And in one of the areas is expansion. Expansion, which we can call development, but we want to refer as expansion. And in this, there are 4 areas, which is the coaches' education, more and better archers, facilities, sport equipment, and spread geographically, that we wanted to focus us as World Archery and help you as our member association to grow. In this part, in expansion, we would like to go further and progress in this objective, and World Archery need more efficient tools to go through them. And to be successful in our expansion plans, a top-level archery facility and the World Archery management is needed. And the World Archery project was born. And let me show you a little bit what it's going to be. here we are. Let's hope we are getting it very soon. Okay, let me give you some facts and figures so we see the size and where we are. The War Archery Dream started in 2009 by FITA, our development foundation of war archery. In 2012, it became one of its main projects. September 4th, in 2014, War Archery received the construction permits approval. And trust me, in Switzerland, it's a long time to get a permit to construct. The first machine arrived on site October 29th of 2014, and War Archery Excellence Center will cover an area of 6,200 square meters, and the building itself will cover an area of 3,000 square meters. The project has currently a cost of 17.5 million Swiss francs, and War Archery Excellence Center should be operational by autumn 2016. What is the vision of the center? What we want to do? And we aim to empower archery development projects regionally, nationally, and internationally. It is aimed to be a reference for existing and future archery centers with its different projects, those that could inspire and benefit our member associations, all of you, and your centers. The War Archery vision is to coordinate activities and programs for the War Archery accredited partner centers. What is this? We have a vision to try to support, unify, coordinate all the centers around the world. And War Archery currently has accredited 2 centers, one in Bangkok and one in Sri Lanka. But more are going to join us soon. We have Taipei, Madrid, Yankton, Salt Lake City, San Diego, India, Mexico, Medellin, Salinas, Valencia, and many more. Any center we will recognize, we will try to work together and make a network to help and support each other for the benefit of our projects. What are the goals of the War Archery Excellence Center? Improve coaches education, accreditation, and related programs. This is the easy one. Collaborate and host athlete performance, studies, and all research projects in the archery lab. Improve judges education and reaccreditation programs. Improve national association management skills through workshop and seminar, as our Secretary General said. We hope that the next workshop and seminar will be in our center. Improve archery events organizer skills and knowledge through workshop and seminars too. Organize training camps to assist competitive athletes in their preparation. Improve archery promotion, school, university, archery for all, or archery for fun programs. Create and promote the Archery Academy, a kind of the core of the archery knowledge, or the University of Archery. Support para-archery programs, of course, and become an Olympic Society accredited partner center. What is going to be a structure? I have the mission to lead a team to try to make all this happen, and we will have an administration area, technical and sport area, maintenance area, and the coach education area. And we are now working in defining what is the role and what is the function and what is the need we have, and then see how much we can put in place as soon as we have the center. But of course, we are trying also to have synergy with potential partners in Switzerland, in the area where we are. And the War Archery Center is willing to establish collaboration with regional, national, and international corporations, associations, federations, companies, foundations, or institutions in Switzerland involved in education, entertainment, and or in the sport industry. For example, very close to the center, less than a kilometer, we have the École d'Hôtellerie de Lausanne. That is one of the most prestigious international schools of the hotel business. And we have about 2,000 students there. We have agreement already to get some scholarship for our resident athletes and to have an exchange of collaboration. Their students coming to our center to train the catering, to train services in special activities, or us using their accommodation or the facilities for food, sleeping, or especially in training camps or competition. The Swiss universities, 2 of the most prestigious ones involved in technology and sport, IOC, IPC, Olympic Society, Swiss Olympic Committee, other IF. We already received 7 requests from international federations to use our facilities to do their own activities. The city of Lausanne, the Canton de Vaud, and I hope my president is listening, but hopefully Lausanne get the Youth Olympic Games, the Winter Youth Olympic Games, and we can use the center for part and the function or the operation of the Youth Olympic Game, the winter in Lausanne. Technogym, company leader in sport equipment, we are in negotiation with them. We will have equipment, but we want to go further, not only having a gym of the brand, and the association of all the hotels and events in Lausanne. Then now, what is now? Now is a construction area. So my uniform is boot, a helmet, and a green or orange jacket. So this is where we are now. We are quite advanced, on time, let's say, as it could not be in any way in Switzerland. The building has finalized the concrete part, and we are covering with the metal structure. They have more or less finalized the inside. Now they're working on the outside, and you have crane, construction, ramp, and some supervision of my son. Thank you very much, and I'm ready to answer your question here or during the championship on the Congress at any moment. Thank you very much.
Question.
Please, Mr. President.
I wanted to escape. Okay, thank you.
Microphone.
Microphone. One moment, Mr. President. Microphone, please, here.
Can you please tell us the name of the architect of the center and give them the congratulations from an old colleague?
Thank you very much.
Thank
I
you.
will pass this. I am afraid that my French pronunciation will kill the name, so I would like to ask Tom, Mr. Petit. Let's say that we have been very pleased to not only choose a good architect studio, but to find the right person that are engaged in sport. They love sport. They were tennis player, and they like to play tennis, but at the same time we have teach them to shoot archery. So the engineers and the architect studio came to try archery in the facility in Lausanne, and they tried the sport before even starting designing it. So we have been fortunate. There's a very good collaboration. They are taking it like a dream project, and they are in contact with us constantly. They have been very open to receive any kind of suggestion or change. And in fact, the model that we have now, to having the building at the top of the roof, was suggested by them to give us more space and more functionality. So I will pass the information to the architect, and thank you very much. Any other question? Yes?
First, I thank Juan Carlos for his great job concerning this important project. Second one, I would like to inform you about one detail. We don't spend any money from World Archery budget for this huge project because we are not a big size Olympic federation, but this is a really big project for us. As you can see, its budget is more than 17 million Swiss franc, and we have to have some external support for covering all this budget. This is another important issue, and again I would like to thank all our friends, especially Greg Easton, our honorary president Jim Easton, IOC president, and some of our sponsors, plus the city and cantonal authorities for their great support us. Thank you very much. My friends, now we have a coffee break. One moment, okay. Do you have any? Yes. Okay.
President, just the name of the architect is Pité and Jardin, but I'll give you the contact details if you want. And it's a couple. In archery, we are completely gender equity. It's a man and a woman working on it as a team. So respecting our women in sport advice and so on. So it's a couple working on it, and we'll pass the message to them. Just one thing, the coffee break will be outside. As in the letter of invitation, if you could all try during today, or if we can't do everyone today, we'll do it tomorrow. When you go outside of the room, on the left, there is a photographer waiting for you to take your picture. And we would like to take pictures of all of our delegates if we can. We know it's going to be challenging to do it, but if you take your coffee or you have to wait to get your coffee, please go to the left outside and get your picture taken. Now, during the lunch break, when you are switching between the workshops and so on, and then we will come back here.
No, one moment. Let's have a coffee break for 20 minutes. We will start at 11.
So we'll start getting back in the room slowly. So we can start with the most exciting part of Congress, which is finances. And that was a good way to keep everyone outside, I'm sure.
My friends, please take your seats.
Again, can we ask you all to please start taking your seats so we continue Congress proceedings?
We can start. My friend, now we move agenda item 10, finance. Again, floor is for our Secretary General.
Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, I will now go to the financial matters. Feel a bit sad to do it alone. I had planned to do it with our Finance and Audit Board chair, but as I said earlier, unfortunately he's not here because of health reasons. So I will do it on his behalf as well, and I've also had confirmation from the two other members of the Finance and Audit Board, Rolf Lind and Hilda Gibson, that if there are any particular questions on their report or any other financial matters, that they are more than ready to assist me as such. So, finance. The first point of finance is the reports of the 2013 and 2014 accounts. I'll give you just a small overview of the income situation of our federation. As you know that although we are quite successful and we try to be every year more successful on the commercial income, so sponsorship and rights fees, our main income is still, as you can clearly see on the presentation, the Olympic income every 4 years. So after those incomes, we have to live from that for the next 4 years as such. If you look at the expenses side, we can say that we are quite stable in what is the administrative expenses. So we're talking here about office costs, staff expenses, and so on. And when they do increase, it is based on an executive board decision to increase our staff sizes, as we did after the London Olympics, and that is clearly visible here as well. Operating expenses depends a lot on our activities. The more activities, most of the time also imply more expenses. So we try to keep the expenses as much as under control as possible, and I thank also our Finance and Audit Board for helping us in that area. We then come to the formal reports. You have on our documents file the auditor's report for 2013 and 2014. I put just on the screen the responsibilities of both the executive committee and the auditors. We conduct audit under Swiss law, and our auditors spent several days in our office going through them. We use, since as long as we are in Switzerland, I think, PricewaterhouseCoopers, and this is the report for 13. I just read the last part. Which says, for 2013, in our opinion, the financial statements for the year ended 31st of December 2013 comply with Swiss law. PricewaterhouseCoopers, Guillaume Nayet, Olivier Michak, both audit experts from PricewaterhouseCoopers. And we have the same for the financial statements ended 2014, and they also comply with Swiss law. So we have to agree with those, accept those two reports. Is there any confirmation we can do it electronically, or I go by hand? I go by hand, I think. So all those in favor of accepting the auditor's report and the accounts for 2013, please raise your hand, or double hands. Anyone against? Any abstention? Okay, we can consider it approved. Same exercise for 2014. So all the ones in favor of approving accounts for 2014, please raise your hand. And auditor's report at the same time. Thank you. Anyone against? And abstention. Thank you. Finance and Audit Board was also sent to you. I don't know if there's any questions on it as such. If not, more than ready to answer it as such. Doesn't seem to be the case. Thank you very much to the Finance and Audit Board, and also to Caroline for making sure that the accounts are 100% correct. We then go to the next part, and our president was a little bit too quick in making the statement on the center when he said there is no money from World Archery spent on the center. He is right. There is not money that we haven't received yet that is spent on the center, because there is future money that we will receive that will be spent on the center. Now you can argue if this money is from World Archery or from the IOC. It's money we will receive from the Olympic Games, and that's why we also presented for the first time a financial program from 2015 to 2024, because it was important that you are aware of our planning towards the future on the Olympic revenues. And we are in the final stages of the discussion with the bank that basically we will borrow in total around 7 million Swiss francs from the bank, which we will pay back every 4 years in a certain amount. So in the financial program, you can see that at the end of 2016, there will be a first contribution to the World Archery Center of 2 million. Now you might ask yourself the question, does that mean that we have less money for other things? The answer to that is clearly no, because as you might remember from the presentations, we have actually moved up in grouping from the IOC since the last Olympic Games. So we will get, in principle, already 2 million more. So it's basically the part we get on top of what we already got from London that we will invest in the center. I also would like to draw your attention that now we are fully owner of our offices, which was money we got extra from London. So there was 1 million from London invested in paying back the mortgage on the office. So there is actually 1 million more, if we look purely at figures, available for our operations in the next 4 years. So from that point of view, I fully endorse what our president said. In the next 4-year cycle, actually we will have 1 million more available to events and operations, and there will be 2 million contributed to the center. If we then look at what happens in the next period, again at 2020, where we expect an increase of the Olympic revenues based on the statements from the IOC, especially in terms of their new TV contracts, which they have been very successfully negotiating in the last few months. We can, I would say, even with a lot of conservatism, assume we will get more money in 2020. And then we will give $2 million to the center to pay back the loan. And then when we get to 2024, we will give another 3 million or whatever is necessary at that stage to finalize the paying back of the mortgage on the center. So that gives you an overview of the financial program. I don't know if there's any particular question on that. Doesn't seem to be the case. Well, thank you very much. Then the next point is member association fees, and I have good news. There is no intention to increase the fees as such, so it will stay as it is, and we will make sure that you get the invoice. We will make sure, Carol and I will make sure that you will get the invoice of the membership fees on time, and we'll deliver that. The last point on the finances is the approval of the auditor's firm. We propose to you that in principle we continue with PricewaterhouseCoopers as such, unless we can't come to a proper agreement in terms of the finances on the actual deal. There was a discussion in the Finance and Audit Board as such on it. Is the cost justified? So we want to make sure that we have of course, fully registered auditing firm in Switzerland. The question is the amount spending it on an international firm, justified or not. We will discuss this further with the Finance and Audit Board, and if you agree with that, so you give us a mandate that in principle it's Price Waterhouse, but give us the margin of maneuvering a little bit on it, and then of course if we make a change we will inform you as such quickly as well. Is that okay for everyone? Okay, thank you. So that finishes the finances, and thanks again to the Finance and Audit Board for all their cooperation.
Thank you, Tom. Now we move agenda item 11. Again, floor is yours, Tom.
Thank you, President. This will be very quick normally. Interpretations on rules by the permanent committees. We have received no particular remark that anybody wanted to discuss any of the interpretations. So unless there is a remark at this moment, doesn't seem to be the case. So we can consider the interpretations approved. Is that okay for everyone? Yes. Okay, thank you.
And now agenda item 12, bylaws adopted by Executive Board. Floor is yours again.
Yes, the same applies. By the deadline foreseen in the Constitution, no particular request for a separate discussion was received, so all bylaws approved by the Executive Board will be put on a vote in one go. So can I have a raise of hands of all those in favor to approve the bylaws as adopted by the Executive Board in the last 2 years? All those in favor? Okay. Any abstention? Anyone against? Okay, thank you very much. And
Thank you very much.
To all the committees for all the hard work on those bylaws.
Thank you very much. Again, let's move agenda item 13, Board of Justice report. Who will present it?
Well, as introduction, I don't know if John, if you would like to speak to it as such. Okay, so the Board of Justice has had some work over the last 2 years, and we have had, unfortunately, to sanction some athletes as such. But I would like to thank John and the entire board for their excellent cooperation and work they have done with us. Thank you, John.
Thank you again. Now let's move agenda item 14, Permanent Committees reports and goals. Again, floor is yours.
Thank you, President. The first committee on the list is the Athletes Committee. We have the chair of the Athletes Committee here. Victoria, do you have anything particular you would like to mention? Okay, thank you very much. Of course, we have Athletes Election Commission. We have the election of the Athletes Commission coming up. We are, I would say, first of all, we would like to thank the current Athletes Committee for their excellent cooperation and work. I think they have been very active over the last 4 years, and this has continued in the tradition of the previous committee. We hope that whoever gets elected in next week will be as active as the current committee. We are also very pleased that in all categories, and this is the first time, there is more than one candidate. So there is a real election this time between the different athletes, and the names of the athletes, I'll just mention the names to you without any particular order or preference, just to make it 100% clear. So we have in compound men, Rio Wild and Pierre-Julien Duloche. In compound women, we have Ivana Buden, Albina Loginova, and Linda Ochoa. In recurve men, Ojin Yek and Juan René Serrano. And in recurve women, we have Naomi Volkaert, Céline Schobinger, and Victoria Koval. So we have in all categories an election. and we ask all you to ask your athletes to vote in the election booth on Sunday and Monday, which will be the 2 days that the voting will be open. Then we can move to the next one, Coaches Committee. Does the Coaches Committee chair wants to take the floor? Not really. Okay, well, is there any question for the Coaches Committee? If not, we would like to thank Ken very much and his committee for the work they have done. They are up for election. I know that Mr. Kim Jong-tak will not seek re-election, and we'll see tomorrow what happens with the election as such. So thank you, Ken. Then the next point is Constitution and Rules Committee. Mark, any particular? Nothing. So again there, I would like to thank very much the Constitution and Rules Committee for all their hard work, because all those interpretation and bylaws at some stage have to go through the Constitution and Rules Committee. Then the next one is the Field Archery Committee. And Derek, is there anything you would like to add to the report? Yes? No? Can we have a microphone, please? Microphone, 1 moment. Microphone over there.
Thank you, Tom. Just really, since we actually wrote the report back in early in the year, as Mark will verify, we've been kept extremely busy on the field and 3D side. And I'd like to thank all those other committees that have been involved with us, because it has taken quite a lot of time to put together. So thank you all for assisting us.
Okay, thank you. And Derek, I think I can say this already on behalf of everyone, since you are not re-seeking re-election, and the same also for Tom Green. It's been a real pleasure, and I can speak on behalf of everyone working with you for many, many years in the field committee, and we'll also pass the same to Tom Green. So many, many thanks on behalf of all of us. Then the next one is the Judge Committee, and as far as I know, there we need a microphone, or if Martin, if you want to come on the... That's okay.
Do I have to switch on? Now you hear me. Okay. Mr. President and dear colleagues, there is a saying in sport that no sport is better than their judges. And archery is involving, and so is the judges, or judging have to be. In this respect, of course, we have a report. I hope you have read it. We have some challenges. We have we have done a lot of things, and we have also some views for the future. But I would like you for a cooperation, because as for archers, you need to bring up talents. You have to find talents. And in fact, that's the same for judging. We need to have talents for judging. It's not everybody who is in the present world able to do things as judges. I mean, judges are now much more in focus than before. I know some of you have a very good national education system for judging, but a lot of you don't have. So I just invite you to a cooperation with the Judge Committee. We will help you, we will assist you, we will give advice, and we can even help you with seminars. So please keep that in mind. And then I have some wish. Because you are putting a lot of efforts and money into coaching, but please also take care of the fact that coaches must know the rules. We have had a lot of problems, and your archers have had lots of problems, because the coaches did not know the rules. So that's important issue of it all. Thank you.
Thank you, Morten. And I think I can only, I would say, confirm what you're saying. Everyone should know the rules. And that applies for sure coaches, but also to athletes. And together with the Constitution and Rules Committee, we try to simplify the rules. We try to make them smaller in size, but it seems to be every time we remove one line, there is 5 lines added. So we'll keep on trying to do it, but it's difficult. Yes, Victoria?
I would like thank you for all judges from athletes, and we want to continue this work together with judging, and we hope for really fair play with judging during the competition at the field. Thank you.
Thank you for this intervention, Victoria. And then we have the next one is the Medical and Sports Sciences Committee. Now, the chairman is not here, but if you have a question, I will try to answer. And if I have not, I have a president who is a doctor who is much more qualified to answer any medical questions. So any question? Oof. Good. Then the next one is the Para-Archery Committee, and I think Carol will want to say some words.
Thank you, Mr. President. You've got the report. It's fairly comprehensive. There are 2 things that I would just like to mention very, very quickly. The first one is that not only is this World Championship a record for entries, but the Para World Championship to be held in Germany next month is also a great record. We have more than 320 archers competing. So we are very happy about that. Thank you all so much for your cooperation and your support within your own federations. The second thing is we have got a very important motion to change the rules. At the moment, we have 4 people who are elected at Congress every 4 years. And then there is a para-archery rep who is elected to the Athletes Committee. In many ways, it's almost a waste, and I mean no disrespect here, Victoria, it's almost a waste to have a para representative on that committee because the shooting rules are the shooting rules and the athletes' concerns are essentially the athletes' concerns no matter who or what they are. Whereas the para committee is made up of entirely able-bodied people. And whilst we've all got a lot of experience in working with people with disabilities, using the current para-archery representative, Pippa Britton, as an associate member, if you like, of the para committee, her assistance has been absolutely invaluable. So the para committee would ask all member federations to vote in favour of the rule change so that the para-archery archer representative is actually a full part of the para-archery committee and not of the Athletes Commission. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Carol. And for your information, tomorrow when we will have the presentation on the World Para Championships, there will also be a special presentation on visually impaired archery because we are very happy that we will have for the first time since we took over the governance of para-archery a real competition at the para-archery championship for visually impaired, and this is following work done by the para-archery committee, and I thank Carol and the entire team on that, and we're very happy to see that there will be for the first time a real competition for visually impaired. Thank you. Then the next one is Target Archery Committee. Mr. Wills. So unless there is any question, I will be ready to answer it, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Thank you, Al, and the other two members as well for the work on the Archery Committee. And then last but not least, or I think most senior chairman of a committee, Mr. Rapska, anything you want to add to your report? Okay, so if there are any questions, he's more than ready to answer them, and if not, you can find him in the coming days on the field or in the Congress Hall. So this concludes the different committees. And then we can move to the next point, if you allow me.
Thank you, Tom. My friends, now let's move to agenda item 17, motion and proposals for law. Again, floor is yours, Tom.
Thank you. We will go now into the motions. We have a presentation, as far as I know, on the motions. For your information, and I'm sorry, the scrutineers, we might have to ask you to count on the motions because they are changing the antennas to make sure the system is working. So I'm afraid, Jim, if you can take that side of the hall, and then if Evelyn can take the right side for you of the hall for the counting. Not yet, but just to get ready, and we'll go through the motions one by one. Yes? No, in the order we have prepared the Congress, we're not following 100% the agenda in order because of presentations and so on. So you're absolutely right. Those points will be taken, but later on. We first will have the motion and proposal, and I should have told you before. You're absolutely right, Morten, and thank you for pointing that out. There will be also other things that are not 100% in the order that they are listed. Okay, so we come to the motions as such. So the first set of motions are very much linked to something we already have been informed on by our president and also by the IOC president, and that is in terms of the implementation of Agenda 2020. So the motion is presented by the Constitution and Rules Committee, and it is basically to add an objective for World Archery in Article 1.31 to protect clean athletes and the integrity of sport by substantially contributing to the fight against doping and by taking action against all forms of manipulation of competitions and related corruption. It's not a new objective. We've been doing it for as long as I know, but it's to make it crystal clear in our Constitution. And the reason is to support the goals of the IOC and its Agenda 2020. Anyone would like to address this matter? I don't think so. Okay. So, if we can have a vote by raise of hands, again, proxies count twice. I mean, you lift your hand, the two hands, and only voting delegates, please. So everyone in favor of accepting motion number 1? Okay, thank you very much. Anyone against? Any abstentions? Thank you, unanimous. Motion number 2, again, it's coming in relation to Agenda 2020, presented by World Archery Constitution and Rules Committee. The text to revise the existing language from no discrimination shall be allowed against any country, association or person on grounds of gender, disability, race, religion or politics. And this is to be 100% in conformity with the new Olympic Charter. No discrimination of any kind shall be allowed, such as race, color, sex, sexual orientation, language, religion, political or other opinion, national or social origin, property, birth or other status. And the reasons to strengthen the World Archery rules to support the 6th fundamental principle of Olympism. Any questions or remarks? Doesn't seem to be the case. So can we have a vote? All those in favor? Okay, anyone against? Abstentions? No, thank you, unanimous. Motion number 3, World Archery Constitution and Rules Committee again. And the text of the motion, and we are only approving today the motion, we're not approving the bylaws, they will be approved by the December Executive Board meeting. It is not approved yet, that will be approved, and there might be changes as such. Basically, it's putting more clear what we already have been doing since years. Member associations must have an archery activity to remain as member. A member association that is no longer active will be expelled by Congress. I think it is obvious that to have an archery federation, you have to have archers. Now, you might think that it is so obvious that it should not even be put to a question. We actually have had one federation that wrote to us that they had 0 archers. Now, why are they a member of the World Archery Federation? So I think the text of the motion is quite clear. We will implement it in a way that is taking into consideration that we have very small federations and we have very big federations. We also will ask federations to report to us. One critical element is that every federation, no matter if they are very small or very big, have to have anti-doping rules in conformity with the code, and of course to be a member in good standing. There will be a system in place that if a member association doesn't fulfill the requirements of being an active member, a warning will be sent. And if no corrective action is taken, then it will come to the Congress and it will be your decision, no one else, to decide what happens with those member associations. The reasons are clear. We don't want to keep postal addresses and have members with no athletes. The criteria for the IOC is the percentage of national championship. I think this is for sure a requirement. If you have athletes, you should have a national championships. Like I said, we had a member report and they had 0 athletes. This is not acceptable. And by stating in our constitution, we make a clear message to our members, and especially to all of you that are fully fulfilling it, that we are having only real national federations and not postal boxes. Any questions or remarks on that? Okay, then we can open the vote. All those in favor? Thank you. Anyone against? Any abstention? One against, okay. Sorry.
Excuse me, can you define for me, if you go back one slide? You said 10 competing athletes. Is that 10 competing athletes in international competition?
No, this is why I said this is not yet approved as such as well. This is one of the things we want to clearly study and see how we can put it in a way that makes sense for very small countries. So it's 10 competing athletes in a country like France or Germany would definitely make no sense. But if you are in a small island, as for instance you have, of course, you can't expect to have a full recurve men, recurve women team on the World Championships either. So this will be definitely looked into, and our executive board will come with a proposal and will adopt the proposal in December, which then you can also, at the next Congress, if you feel it's not correct, put up for a special discussion and vote as such. So we fully understand the difference between the Virgin Islands and France, to take 2 extremes, and we will, of course, take that into consideration. The thing is, no matter how big the size, a real activity has to happen.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so any abstention or against? Doesn't seem to be the case, and sorry for not catching you earlier. Okay, then we go to motion 4. It's in relation to again, from the World Archery Constitution and Rules Committee, and it's to revise the existing language from the Coaches Committee. The Coach Committee of 3 shall bring to the attention of the relevant committees matter which as coaches they consider to require attention. Candidates for the Coach Committee shall represent the member association in coaching or team captain capacity, or at least one occasion during the previous 4 years at the time of election. And the change is to a Coaches Committee of 3 shall consider matters related to acting as a team manager or coach on the field of play at international events. Candidates for the Coaches Committee shall represent the member association in coach or manager capacity on at least one occasion at an international event during the previous years at the time of election. So it's to better define the function of this committee and to require members to have recent relevant experience. Our discussion we had both with the current Coaches Committee and our development department is that we had our Coaches Committee both doing development work and what the Coaches Committee intentionally was intended to do. And this is the reason why we want to clarify the work done on development by the Coaches Committee will still be carried on, but not by the committee, but by having people work on our coaches' manuals, work on the coaches' training and so on. And especially with the World Archery Excellence Center coming on board, this will become more and more important, but this will not be handled by the committee as such. For the rest, it's also an update of terminology. We don't use the term team captain anymore, but it's now team manager. Is there any question or comment on this particular motion? Yes, Archery GB. Microphone, please.
David Sherrod, Archery GB. Just for clarification, please, bearing in mind that there is an election tomorrow, when will this change be effective from?
Okay, so basically the change, unless Congress wants it differently, will be effective 1st of April next year.
Okay, thank you.
So I will, when we come to the date of effect of all the motions and proposal, which is after we finished with this section, at that time I will ask if anybody wants a particular change as such. If I don't get that request, then it will be the 1st of April next year. Okay? Okay, no other questions or comments? Then all those in favor for accepting this motion? Okay, anybody against? Doesn't seem to be the case. Any abstentions? Unanimous. Okay. Then the next motion, and this is a motion where we also have an amendment, and I'll come back to the amendment in a second. For the World Archery Para-Archery Committee, so we change the composition of the Para-Archery Committee being 6, so 5 elected and 1 appointed. Basically, we add the athlete representative to the Para-Archery Committee. The member representing the athletes is not elected by the Congress, but by the athletes, as is the case for other members of athletes' committees. So this is the motion as such that was presented by the World Para-Archery Committee. If I then go to the amendment, which was also submitted by the World Archery Para Committee, is to also then remove the para-archery athlete from the other athletes committee. So the athlete representative for para would only be part of the para committee. He or she would not be part of the athletes committee. Now the athletes committee absolutely will consult that person as such. So it's not that they have no way to express their opinion on specific para-athlete activities to the athletes committee, but they would no longer be member of the athletes committee. So that is the amendment as such. Since the para-archery committee proposed it, do you want to add anything as such? I think that's Clear? Anyone else has any question or comments on this? Doesn't seem to be the case. Then we will first, under our rules, we first have to vote on the amendment. If the amendment passes, then we will vote on the motion. If the amendment fails, we'll still vote on the motion. It depends on the final text. If the amendment has passed or not, what will happen. So we first vote on the amendment, basically to bring the athletes committee to 5 instead of 6. All those in favor of this? Okay. Anyone against? Abstention? Fine. Then now we'll go back to the motion. So amendment, this is the amended motion, so we will have a para-archery committee with 1 additional member and an athletes committee with 1 less member. That is how we will accept the text now. So, all those in favor of the amended motion? Okay. Anyone against? No. Abstentions? Thank you very much. Okay, then we come to the last motion. And since it's a motion presented by Federation, I give the floor first to Archery Ireland to present their motion. Archery Ireland is there in the back, so please, microphone. No.
Can you hear me now? Yes, that's better. I can even hear myself. Hi, Kevin McDermott, President of Archery Ireland. The motion is very simple, and it is that Congress resolves to decouple Congress from the World Archery Championships. And I know this will be controversial, and many of you will be wondering why. So, a brief explanation. We're a small country in Ireland. As an association, we have a membership of 1,200 fully paid up members. We physically could not host a World Championship. So we do not appear on the World Archery map. But if we decouple Congress from the championship, we have hotels, we have conference centres, and we would love to see everybody in this room come to Ireland and realise that archery is a live and living sport in Ireland. It gives smaller countries like us a chance to make an impression on the archery world in a big way without having to find facilities and money and volunteers to host the World Target Championships. The second positive point from this would be that it allows World Archery to schedule the Congress for a time that might be more appropriate, perhaps between seasons, indoor and outdoor, where we can look back and look forward better. But also, the negative from our point of view is, I'm President of Archery Ireland. I am not an archer. I've fired 3 arrows in my life. But for the next 7 days, I will be team manager to the Irish team. Not because I particularly want to be team manager to the Irish team, but because we were going to the expense of sending me here, it was decided we'd continue that, and I might as well stay and do team manager. So while I might be here doing good governance and making good political decisions for archery, I may be an awful team manager on the field. And conversely, if we had sent a team manager to Congress because of the expense, we would have someone who's not interested in the politics or the administration of World Archery, making decisions on behalf of Archery Ireland, and then being a great team manager on the field. So we feel, as a small nation, and we would ask you to think of the smaller nations in this, that if we decouple the two, if we decouple Congress from the World Championships, we can actually enhance archery not only from a sporting point of view, but from a political and administrative point of view. So we're not trying to cause controversy, we're not trying to annoy anybody, but we think it makes sense that the politics and the administration of the Congress take place and receives the full attention of every association, and then the World Championships take place and receives the full attention of the people who need to be giving it the attention, the people who are qualified to be the team managers, the coaches, etc., and that the politics and administration is left to the old people like me who know how to do it. So I would urge you all, please, to support this motion in a spirit of positivity, and let's move forward and improve the sport for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any other people who would like to take the floor on this motion? Yes, we have Tonga.
At 10? Yeah, okay. Thank you, Mr. President, delegates. I would love to come to Ireland. The sooner the better, but not for this reason. I'm sorry. I think you gave the arguments yourself. We are very happy we have a democracy, but for a true democracy to work, everybody has to be able to afford the right to participate in the democratic process. For that very same reasons, as you mentioned, we have people that have double roles here because many of our members are small developing countries, poor federations, which might be able to get the support from their national governments or national Olympic committees to send people to sporting activities, and then they can participate at the same time in the Congress. If this motion will pass, I'm afraid that a lot of our members will not be able to participate in Congress, and I think that is detrimental for the democratic process. Therefore, with a big apology to Ireland, I kindly request that you please consider your votes when you do this. One last point on this matter. If we go to follow Ireland's proposal, I think we could maybe delay it, and we could look into ways of sharing costs of participating in Congress. Because if we look back historically, most of the congresses in the last 10, 15 years has been in Europe and few in other places, which makes a huge difference in the cost of participation also for between member countries. So please consider that some of us has to spend a lot of money to participate here, where other of you can hop in the car and take the bridge to Sweden or wherever. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other comments from the floor? I give the floor to the President.
My dear friends, I can say some few words about this motion. Of course, we can have some different ideas about this important issue, but we have to think about some critical details. First one is related to other IFs. In most Olympic IFs, there are separate congresses from the World Championships. This is a reality, and a member association can host a congress each time. This is one reality. Other one, in the future, if we have a separate congress, World Archery can easily accommodate all our Congress delegates for 2 or 3 days. This is not an issue. Or one of our big federations can easily accommodate our delegates to 3 days without having any problems. Another critical detail for me is related to friendship. If we have a congress together with World Championships, especially immediately before the World Championships, most of us have to be together with our archers, because especially here, for instance, we have a lot of teams, archers, and this is a very critical championships for winning Olympic quota places. It is really very, very important issue for most of us, for our presidents, secretary generals who attend here. If we have a separate congress, most probably we will have a good contact with each other for sharing some ideas, for having some funny moments. This is another issue. Yes, I understand very well the situation of our small federations. They don't have enough support from some institutions, but in any case, we can accommodate them without having any problem if we have a separate Congress. This is my opinion, but yesterday we had a World Archery EB meeting here, and most of my colleagues had nearly the same ideas. This is our comments. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. So, if there's no further comments, we can... Sorry?
Dear friends, for athletes, it's very important to feel protection and support from our presidents, vice presidents, officials, and very thanks. It's very pleasant then athletes to feel this during championships. I know this, for example, in the Ukrainian Federation, we have the same, and it's good support for athletes. Some federations haven't any possibility to take president together with athletes. It's very important for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further comments? Then I think we will probably need our scrutineers this time. So, and please, to make sure that they can count, I will have to ask you to keep your hands up as long as possible. So we're okay. Evelyn, you take those two sides, and Jim is taking these two sides. Okay, and let's be very clear, the ones that have proxies, 2 hands, only voting delegates, okay? And then we'll see if the voting counts to 91. That was the voting still the case, 91? 92, okay. So, all those in favor of the motion of Ireland to decouple the World Congress from the World Archery Championships. All those in favor, please raise your hands. Okay. All those against? And for formality reasons, all those abstaining. Okay, so I think it's quite clear. I don't think we have to need to calculate what the majority is. So the motion fails, and we will for sure discuss further with Archery Ireland, because I don't think the idea is completely dead. And we will continue working and seeing how we can solve this for the future, because there is several issues that need to be tackled. Size of the country, size of the event, what proposal we can have, because I think everyone wants the same, but we have to find the best possible solution for it. Okay, so this finishes, Mr. President, the motion and proposals.
Thank you, Tom. Now we move on agenda item 15. Archery World Plan. I would like to say some few words without giving the floor our Secretary General. As I mentioned during my speech, we have a really very well prepared and very dynamic Archery World Plan, and it was prepared with your very valuable contributions, and our success mainly belongs to you. This is a reality, and again, I thank you very much for this success. Another great thank for our friend. I would like to thank Lars Pedersen and his team from TSE Consulting for our very good partnership about this great activity. And now floor is our Secretary General's again.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm going to talk about the Archery World, the World Archery Plan. There's some discussion if it's Archery World Plan or World Archery Plan, but it's the World Archery Plan. As you know, World Archery successfully achieved our vision of making archery internationally recognized as one of the important Olympic sports by the year 2012. This has seen significant changes and results within the sport and world archery over the past number of years. This has included the creation of the new World Archery brand and spreading this brand to the continental and member associations. It has seen our events transformed in being staged in iconic locations in new and innovative ways. It has seen the way we communicate with fans, athletes and the outside world change with the times, using new platforms to reach these targets. Ultimately, it has seen our position within the Olympic ranking system improve and seen archery achieve its vision for Phase 1 and take its place as an important Olympic sport. The vision of World Archery back in 2007 was built on the belief that a stronger position in the Olympic Games would create an even stronger platform for the entire sport to develop. The success achieved in Phase 1 has allowed us to build this platform, but what comes next? So, we had success by 2012. This is where Phase 2 of our strategic plans comes in. In 2013, World Archery began Phase 2 of the strategic plan. Having increased the level of recognition at the international level, the focus of the World Archery Plan turned towards doing the same on a national level. The vision for the second phase was that each World Archery member association, meaning you, would make archery recognized as an important Olympic sport within its own country. What does that mean? Basically, it means that we go from one world plan to many national plans. So in Phase 2, the attention is shifted from one World Archery Plan to as many national archery plans. So the focus has changed to you, the national member associations. This involves each of you developing your own plan in the context of your country, specific strengths and weaknesses. But how will you achieve this? Well, in 2013, we provided some guiding principles as part of the workshops to help each member association develop their own national strategy. We know that many member associations have different resources, strengths, priorities and opportunities, and so to outline concrete actions is not always easy and it is not always efficient. This is why we gave you guidelines to help you direct your own strategic plan and action points. We also created a committee, an ad hoc committee, to help you with this work, and the chair, Vicente Martinez, is here, and unfortunately, he's awaiting a lot of times that you contact him, because he's calling me from time to time and say, give me something to do, because the member associations are not contacting me. So he's waiting for you to contact him or his fellow members, Sergio Font and PK Chu, to assist you wherever possible. But as you remember, those guidelines were products, focus resources to make an impact. What our products are is very clear. Our events, partnerships, and really trying to find partners in all possible ways. This could be sponsors, it could be the archery industry, it could be cities, it could be clubs, whatever can help you, and please use the flexibility of archery. We can do much more for potential partners than some of the bigger sports. And then promotion. We, together with our staff, have helped you and will continue to help you to promote the sport better, and like it's stated here, become your own media. You don't need the newspapers anymore as you did 20 years ago. You don't need television channels anymore the same way as 20 years ago. Yes, they still exist. Yes, they're still important. And yes, you should still try to get involved with them. But you can also do all of those things yourself. And you can do that by using Facebook, by using Twitter, by using YouTube, by having things like our event toolkit or something similar, and by creating really good events for which you can find partners. Don't count on finding immediately multi-million deals. It takes time, I can tell you. But you can find small partnerships that will develop the sport. And we will, in the workshops, concentrate on those three elements. Products, we will have in the workshops, the workshop on national events, and it is not us going to tell you what to do. It is some of you that will tell what worked and didn't work in your own country. And we have success stories. It is working. In promotion, Chris Wells with the communication will tell you what we are doing, how we can help you more, and how we can get better promotion for you. And partnerships, one of the partnerships we have been working on, and we have Jay, the chair of the Archery Trade Association here, and he will present to you tomorrow. We're working more and more with the Trade Association, and they will also be able to give you some ideas on how partnerships can be developed in that part. So, where are we? We are basically halfway through phase 2. And we hope that you have started making a plan and that these principles have helped you in shaping your plan at national level. With the principles in place, we now need to think how to leverage these principles to achieve the vision of being an important Olympic sport in your country. The way you can achieve this is through growth, and this is what we're going to consider today in our workshops. So, without any further ado, I also ask Lars to join me on the stage. I think everyone knows Lars Auer Petersen from TSE Consulting. His colleague Dan O'Toole in the back will also be with you. He's a little bit newer, but Lars has been with us since 2007 Congress, so he knows many of you and he will give you some additional comments. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, President. And as Tom mentioned, we have had the pleasure and the honor of being involved in the Archery World Plan since the beginning in 2007. And it's very nice every second year to see so many familiar faces and to feel that the high spirit is still there. So over these last 8 years, what have we learned? I just want to share two things I think we have learned from this quite long and consistent development. I think we learned that, first, we learned that drastic improvements, real progress in a big sport like archery does not come automatically. It's not so that because we want it, it happens. And because we really want it badly, it really happens. It's not so that we wake up one morning and suddenly the IOC, the media, sponsors think that our sport is great. It does not happen automatically, even though how much we talk about it, how much we want it. This is one thing we learned. But secondly, we also learned that it does happen. We do see dramatic progress and really substantial increase in recognition of our sport if we do have the courage to make some bold decisions, to make some tough choices, and to plan well ahead. So we have seen that in archery, that when the leadership and with your support from the Congress, when you make these tough choices, when you do have these bold decisions, when you plan ahead following the world plan, actually it pays off. It is possible to actually dramatically improve the status of a sport because you have proven that. Many sports are thinking about the same, but we from the outside of archery, and we are involved in many other sports where we can watch them and follow them, it doesn't really happen there. It has happened in archery. And I think those two learning points are really important, and it reminded me about something which we have, I think, consistently have shown over the last 8 years, that improvements is not enough. Because that's what many sports think. They think that if we improve, then it'll be fine. No, it will not, because everybody is improving. Everything is improving all the time. Every year we have a little better technology. Every year we become a little smarter. Every year we know a little better how to work together. So all our competitors are improving all the time. So if we in archery are just improving, nobody will really notice because everybody's improving. What you have managed in international archery, and now we will take that further on the national level, is actually to do more than improving. We have to make those jumps in our performance over time, where we not only improve, but we more than improve. We dramatically improve. And when we make those jumps, then people will notice. Then all the external factors, the IOC, the media, the sponsors, the other sports, they will notice. But in order to make those breakthroughs, we need to plan, we need to think. And that's why we think that this national plan, now this phase is really important, because we cannot just wait for those jumps to happen. They will not happen automatically. We need to think about them, plan them, and then it happens. And we have seen it work in archery, so we really think it could work in all your countries as well. So we will continue to push for as many jumps as possible in as many countries as possible until we have all jumped to a level where archery is an important Olympic sport in all our countries. And we start right here, or we continue right here, I guess, after the lunch break, Tom. But Tom will tell you how the workshops will be composed and how it will work. And again, we cannot change the world of archery within the next 2 hours and 2 hours tomorrow, but we can do something within these 2 hours and 2 hours tomorrow, so that we help each other finding ways to plan those jumps so that we make the entire sport jumping ahead. And we used to say that this is as much about thinking as we can. I actually think that we can win by thinking, but we will help each other thinking together to identify all the jumps that make our sport jump really further ahead, so that by 2017, it's already in 2 years, time runs fast, we will meet again, and then we will see how many jumps we have collectively done and see where we are at that time. So Dan and I will have the pleasure of running one of the workshops, and we will see all of you either during this afternoon or during tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lars. My friends, any questions, comments? Thank you again. Now we have a lunch break. We will meet again at 2 o'clock. But before leaving here, I give the floor again to our Secretary General for some logistic information.
Thank you, President. So, as our President said, there will be lunch break now. There is arrows. What could it be else than in archery than arrows? Pointing outside to the restaurant. And it will be a buffet lunch. And I remind also that for the ones that haven't done it, take advantage of the lunch break to get your picture taken by the photographer. And also, we ask you to leave the tablets in the room so we can do an additional test on them. And then we will come for a very short time here at 2 o'clock. So please, it's a long break, but please be here at 2 o'clock because at 2 o'clock we will explain you how it will work for the work groups. And if everyone's here, we can get everyone quicker to the work group sessions. And you have more time to discuss, which is something I know you all want to do. So I really insist that at 2 o'clock everyone should be in the hall. Enjoy lunch and see you later this afternoon.
C'est moi qui ai mis des points séparés. En fait, dès qu'on dépasse 60, c'est comme tablette, ça crache. Les autres, ils rejettent les tablettes. On va essayer de faire un groupe de 20 là-bas, puis d'ajouter un autre groupe de 20, etc. et de multiplier les points d'accès. Si on n'a rien ce soir, je prépare des papiers ce soir. Il va me falloir une grande quantité de papier.